turn there as you head up toward Chocowinity and Washington. You can see some of the heavier showers there. But again, this is the area with the tornado warning. It continues until 11:45, so still quite a while left on this tornado warning. For those of you in and around Vanceboro, that's where the tornado warning was indicated a couple of minutes ago, and this particular storm will continue to see moving off to the north. It's going to make it at a pretty good clip here at about 55 miles per hour to the northeast, and some of the areas that it is headed toward include, as we mentioned, places around Washington and also Chocowinity. And for those of you even in Bath, it's going to be coming just to the west side of Bath there. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, you can see, for the same particular storm that runs through the northern parts of Beaufort County up into Washington County. And it looks like it's actually clipping into the western part of Martin County as well, both the severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning. But again, for those of you that are right along this path from Vanceboro continuing on up to Washington, those are the areas where we do have the potential of a storm capable of producing a tornado. Now, again, the National Weather Service has been mentioning a couple of times tonight that a couple of these late storms are areas that we continue to see as a possible storm producer. And again, we have all of the wind that is out there as well, that wind that is creating the problem that we continue to see. But the particular storm system that is producing that was last indicated back near Vanceboro. So we'll back off and start again to show you the areas that we were looking at. Moving at 55 miles per hour, it is going to move on through at a fairly quick clip right along places like Mile Road, also Gray Road, and then the new Branch Road as you make your way on to the north. That includes Possum Track Road. Again, I mentioned Mile Road, Hackney, you're in the line there. And then you see Chocowinity. So this is going to come in and around Chocowinity as a possibility of a storm capable of producing a tornado, and that continues on up toward Washington. And you can see Old Bath Highway included in that. I'm going to slide to the south, and you can see the red line along the left side here just before you get to Beckwith. So Beckwith, you're on the right side, and Odin Mill, you're on the left side. So that means that Odin Mill is in the warning, Beckwith is not, but anywhere in and around that area, this particular storm is headed in your direction. Now, I am going to continue to take a look at that particular area. I do want to back out as well and show you once again, give you kind of a reset, if you will. What we have is the potential of a tornado indicated by radar, and that's what this particular storm system that you can see mainly making its way right up Highway 17 from what appears to be right around the northern parts of Vanceboro, continuing up 17 as you make your way up toward Chocowinity and Washington. Those areas you are under the gun. Now, of course, do keep in mind some of the tips that you need to be adhering to at this particular time, and that is, if you're in a home with just one floor, find an interior room to get into, a closet or an interior bathroom, some room away from glass. That's always the most important thing, because the glass can create issues. So you do need to keep that in mind as well, that that is a situation that you have to deal with if you are near glass or near a window. But that particular area, the tornado warning up and around north of Vanceboro, that we do have the potential for some damage. So again, you can see the house here, the animation, and anytime you have a tornado warning, just always remember those important things. The safest place to be in the house, as I mentioned, you can see a hallway, a closet, an interior bathroom away from windows, and that's the areas highlighted in green. Those are the best places. Now, you can also take a look at the center part of the house, also away from windows, And as we mentioned many times, if you have a athletic helmet, a bike helmet, a motorcycle helmet, something to protect your head, that's always important. Of course, blankets and pillows help out. And sometimes if you're in an interior bathroom, you can get into a bathtub and cover yourself with some of these blankets and even have more of a protection. Of course, it'd be best if you have a basement, but not many homes in Eastern Carolina with a basement. But if you happen to have one, that's a good place to be, especially as we go back to the radar. You'll see just north of Vanceboro heading up toward Washington. And I've been keeping an eye out to see this is moving to the north at about 55 miles per hour. And the tornado warning runs until 11:45. And then, of course, you see the severe thunderstorm warning that goes up to Skinnersville, Scuppernong, Plymouth. Those areas we do see the potential for severe weather. And that is a severe thunderstorm warning. You see some of the lightning associated with that, but as we come back down toward Washington, especially between Washington and Vanceboro, those are the areas where we were looking at the potential of a tornado indicated by radar. And again, it has the National Weather Service issuing the tornado warning for that particular area. I do want to take a look again and just check for any updates for you that we do have here. But the main concern that we have with this particular area is the system moving through tonight with all of the wind, and that is creating certainly quite a bit of concern. You see the tornado warning for that particular area, and there is the potential of 3/4 inch size hail with this. And again, it's for Beaufort County, Craven County, Martin County, Pitt, and Washington County off to the north. But the area that we are looking at this particular time, we'll go in and take a look at some of the roads again, right to the east side of Highway 17, where 33 comes up from over toward Rover. You can see this is the area that this will cross as it makes its way to the east side of Chocowinity, moving at 55 miles per hour. We'll take it way on up into the Albemarle Sound counties fairly quickly. So that is something to factor in as we take a look at the areas again with the tornado warning. That includes the areas highlighted here, the northern parts of Craven County into the western part of Beaufort County. And we're also seeing at this particular time that we will continue. This tornado warning was just issued by the National Weather Service. And again, the latest information showing this being already up to near River Road. So that is the area that you're looking at where we have both the severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning, and right around River Road to the east side of Washington. As I mentioned, it started off back near Vanceboro. It is moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So that is certainly a concern for those of you in and around places like the River Road, as we mentioned, even back over to Washington, and then continuing on up toward Walla Walla. So for those of you that are in those particular areas, be sure you take precautions at this particular time. But the tornado warning is in effect until 11:45 for southwestern Washington County, north central Craven, southeastern Pitt, southeastern Martin, and western Beaufort counties. The latest information at 11:18, just about a minute ago, was this thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Wilmer, moving near River Road and at the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So again, that's the area we're looking at here. And for those of you in and around places like Douglas Crossroads, Brady Road, also places like Harvey Road, you are on the eastern side of this. If you're in and around Highway 264 between Washington, headed over toward the east, you're going to run through this particular storm system. And again, quite a bit of activity that we are keeping an eye on. I'm going to go back and see if we can find that signature. But again, for those of you in and around the areas headed up through to the east of Washington anyway, It looks like that we'll continue to see the potential for the conditions here to deteriorate. And again, this is the area that we're looking at right along Highway 33. We mentioned that a couple of minutes ago, making your way in from Washington or Rover headed toward Washington. That is the area where we do have the potential for this tornado. It is until 11:45, so about 25 more minutes left on this warning issued by the National Weather Service just a couple of minutes ago, and it has continued. In fact, we had that update there that we would continue this tornado warning until 11:45 because of the radar indication of a possible tornado and 3/4 inch size hail. But this particular area that you see just to the west of Highway 33, that's one of the areas that we're keeping an eye on. That would be this area right here headed up toward River Road. This is certainly the one spotlight area where you need to keep in mind that the potential for a tornado is there. But we'll go back to the radar and show you the latest information that we do have as we see that starting to narrow a bit as far as the polygon is concerned. It mainly is right along now the areas north of Vanceboro, continuing on to the north, but it's just about out of Craven County and Pitt County at this particular time. The main part of the tornado warning is Beaufort County and continuing on up into Washington County, western part, or I should say the eastern part of Martin County with that tornado warning. This continues to be a concern because of these storms and the wind that we've been seeing tonight. We had a couple of minutes ago, we told you that places like New Bern and Havelock had 50-mile-per-hour gusts. When you have that to factor in with it, that is something to certainly keep in mind, and we will certainly see this as a potential here for the next few minutes as this tornado warning does continue. And as long as you see the red polygon, that means that we do have the tornado warning, and the area with the yellow polygon, that is a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of it. And you can see quite a bit of lightning. In fact, I'm going to swing it here and turn the lightning off so you can get a good look at where the main part of the storm and the rain for that severe thunderstorm is. That's Jamesville into Plymouth. We do have that area, and then over to Skinnersville, and then making your way around Scuppernong. Looks like down Highway 45 as you come out Plymouth, you're okay. You're still within the severe thunderstorm warning, but just to your west is where you're finding the main part of the storm. But then you get into the tornado warning, and again, Washington is seeing the potential there. And I'm going to back all the way down to Vanceboro. You can see, for the most part, Vanceboro, this has moved out of your areas. We told you at 55 miles per hour, it's going to move at a pretty good clip. This is the main area that we're looking at now, just to the east of Hackney and to the north of Rover, over toward Shady Banks, and then again over toward River Road. That was the area where we were looking at for the potential for this tornado that was indicated by radar. Now, for those of you, once again, in the warned area, do keep in mind that the conditions can always deteriorate quickly, and you need to make sure you're in a safe spot. Especially when you have the winds like we do tonight. Sometimes you might hear it and not realize that it's associated with this particular storm. So go ahead and find that safe spot and be in your safe spot as we continue to track that for this evening. And again, this is a tornado warning, and it looks like, again, for those of you in and around the tornado warning, we will continue that. There is the update as I gave you a couple of minutes ago, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning as well, and the Weather Service continuing that particular storm as it makes its way off to the north. But what we are looking at here, the areas right around Washington, is the potential of a tornado indicated by radar. I've been trying to find that signature on it, and those are certainly not been easy to find in this particular storm. But again, when you have these type of storms where they're moving at such a fast pace, and sometimes they're not really standing up to get the full signature that we see sometimes in the wind field, you can certainly find out that it's sometimes hard to find within that particular storm system. But if you look right along Highway 33 headed over toward Riverbend, or I should say River Road, this is River Road just east of Washington, headed up toward Douglas Crossroads, and then making your way on up toward Walla Walla. Those are the areas where we do have the potential for these particular tornadic activities. But what we're looking at, again, this is the tornado warning that continues until 11:45. Now I'm going to change back over to the radar here and back out just a little bit to show you what we are dealing with, and that is the storm to the north, as you can see, with the quite a bit of lightning strikes right now moving into Washington County. And for those of you in and around Washington, this appears to have passed, but don't let your guard down. This tornado warning, as you can see, is continuing until 11:45. I'm going to check for an update real quick to see what the latest information is. It's a new event for a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, that particular warning runs until midnight for Bertie County. They've been added into the severe thunderstorm warning that I was highlighting for you a couple of minutes ago. So the eastern part of Bertie County, and then you continue on into Washington and the eastern part of Martin County back into northern Beaufort County. Those are the areas where we are seeing the potential here for some severe storm activity. But again, for those of you within the area of this particular storm, just make sure you're in your safe spot. That is extremely important. And this particular warning for the tornado, that's the red box that you see, or the red polygon. I'm going to go ahead and show you one more time that that particular area runs from just north of Vanceboro up through Washington, Old Ford, and then as you make your way over toward Walla Walla and then back around to River Road, those are areas where we do have the potential with this storm of seeing some of the potential for severe weather that could include a tornado. Again, the area has been seeing the winds pick up throughout the day. We have that wind field out there for tonight. And one of the main things that we're keeping an eye on right now is this particular storm system that you see headed for Washington. So for those of you in and around Washington, you have a thunderstorm with quite a bit of lightning associated with it. Do keep that in mind over the next couple of minutes. Now, for the severe thunderstorm warning, as we mentioned, you do have that extended now into the western part of Bertie County, and that's the part right in here that we have added in, and that is because of the thunderstorm that is making its way just to the west of Edenton, and then you see this goes all the way over to Skinnerville, Scuppernong, and it actually cuts off before you get to Crestwell. But for those of you in and around Plymouth, you're going to see this continuing across your area for the next couple of minutes. But again, what we do have right now is the potential of a tornado with this particular thunderstorm system. I've been keeping an eye here for the National Weather Service update, starting to actually see that we're losing a little bit in the southern part of that polygon. And again, for those of you in and around Washington, you do see the storm passing, but it is at 55 miles per hour that it's moving off. So most of the storm right now is in and around Plymouth. And again, as you take the turn at Old Ford and head over toward Jamesville, and then eventually on 64 on over toward Plymouth, you're seeing some of the severe weather here as well. This severe system has the potential of producing a tornado. That was indicated by radar at, well, it actually started about 7 minutes after 11, and it has been going on. Still 15 minutes left in this severe situation here with the tornado warning. I'm expecting to see an update in just a couple of minutes from the Weather Service on this as we get close to the bottom of the hour here, and we have lost some of the characteristics in the southern part of that polygon. So for those of you in Craven County, southern part of Beaufort County, and you see they did just change that, so there's your update. We will continue the tornado warning. Again, that is continuing until 11:45. And the tornado indicated by radar, last information, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Bunyan, making its way to near Washington. Now it's picked up the pace a little bit, moving off to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. So let's hop in here and take a look, and you can see that's the area right there east of Washington in the southern part of the track that we're talking about. So if you're at Douglas Crossroads, Dogwood Drive, Old Bath Highway, Slate's Stone Road, those are the areas where we do have the potential at this particular time. We'll change over into the wind mode of the radar to find that signature, or try to find it. And again, it has been kind of hard to find, but that's where you're looking at right there, where you have the differing colors of red, or the pink and red is the area. But notice it is not as defined as what we usually see in these particular events. But we are tracking this across the region. And again, that tornado warning is expected to continue until 11:45, and that again runs with the area running off to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. That's the area we're looking at there, right along 264. In fact, for those of you at 264 and Asbury Church Road, that's the bullseye for this tornado. Also Turkey Trot 2 Road. Also, as you make your way up toward CBH Lodge Road and Piney Grove, those are the areas that's in the target right now. But again, we are tracking this particular storm system. We do want to show you that the polygon has narrowed somewhat. And as far as the timing on this was scheduled to go until 11:45. I'm not seeing if they have changed the time on that yet, but 11:29, this tornado indicated by radar was continuing to push just east of Washington. This is a bigger picture to give you a reset here at the bottom of the hour. What we see again is the area right there along 264 as you make your way into Washington. We do have the tornado warning that is the area right around the Highway 32, 264 area, then continuing on up toward Slate Stone Road. And this is moving at 60 miles per hour. So that means for those of you upstream for this, as we do have near Plymouth and Jamesville part of the thunderstorm. And again, that is included in a thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning comes up just short of that area. Now, for the severe thunderstorm warning, that is, of course, on the leading edge of this particular system. We continue the tornado warning until 11:45, which is still about 10 minutes away. And so for those of you in Beaufort County and then eventually up into western parts of Washington County, eastern part of Martin County, those are the areas where we have the severe thunderstorm warning as well. So this is headed up toward Mary Hill, Edenton, also right around Plymouth. And what we also have here is the areas around Mary Hill up to Edenton, as we mentioned. For Coleraine, you're going to see this in a couple of minutes as well. And then the severe thunderstorm warning is also overlapped in the southern part of the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado warning. Still keeping an eye here for a change in this particular area, because you see that the actual coverage of the storm itself has broken up a little bit. But what we expect with this particular system is it to continue to spread severe weather, especially as you can see now into places like Plymouth, continuing on to the north up toward Edenton. Windsor, you're outside of the severe thunderstorm warning, but you do have this passing just to your east. And then we continue back, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, Jamesville, and also Darden's involved with that, Henson. And it looks like as you get over toward Old Ford, things are starting to improve a little bit. And then down toward Washington as well, you see Old Ford there on the left out of the rain and the storms now. For those of you in and around Washington, continuing on to the north, we continue to see the potential for severe weather here. But again, what we certainly have not been able to see is that usual signature, but we are starting to see the line with the showers ease up a little bit. So I'm going to back out and show you one more time what we're looking at as far as the entire view of the viewing area. And you can see we still have some other areas with these showers and storms that are pushing on through. This is kind of the trailing edge, though. Once we get after midnight or so, we expect to see these to continue to move on out of the area. But I want to take you back up into the main area of concern right now. And again, that's up in and around Beaufort County. That's where we do see the main part of the storm that is pushing off to the north. Again, places like Plymouth continuing with the thunderstorm right now in the thunderstorm warning. This particular area in red, the polygon, there's a tornado warning, and you can see about the only area with the showers continuing right now would be in and around Fire Tower Road, also continuing over toward Barber number 1 Road. Those are the areas just north of Slatestone Road. That's included in that severe thunderstorm warning, as well as the tornado warning. And this is the tornado warning running until 11:45. We do have the severe thunderstorm warning out here as well. By the way, earlier I had mentioned that this was north of Craven County, so you're no longer included in that warning, the tornado warning. And again, it continues to move quickly on to the north at about 60 miles per hour. Still checking, we are continuing at this particular time the latest information on the tornado warning, but what we do have is this severe thunderstorm warning to deal with as well that continues for the northern areas north of that tornado warning, and that's the highlight that you see there in yellow. Now, for those of you in and around Plymouth, keep in mind that this is moving in your direction, so you could see some severe weather with this, so make sure that you stay on top of this particular system or sail as it moves off to the north. And again, at 60 miles per hour, you may think, well, it's still quite a ways off, and it can be on you fairly quickly, because normally you see these storms move at about 30 or 35 miles per hour, but this one is moving along because of the winds that we do have. And I did tell you earlier that some of the region seeing at this particular time wind gusts out there of 50 to 60 miles per hour, and that was before any of these warnings went out. So that is something that we are keeping an eye on. And Grant and Lana both in the studio with me now, and we are keeping an eye on this particular system. But Grant, I'm going to, you've been looking at the latest information there as we try to update what
yeah, Donnie, we're still looking at the western portions of Beaufort County heading into Washington County, and just to the western side of Hyde County. So again, it's a tornado warning until 11:45 p.m. So that's about 7 minutes. If about 20 minutes ago this looked a lot more structured, and if we put on rotation, you could see that the rotation has weakened substantially over the past 20 minutes or so. I'll continue to zoom out here and get closer to the storm that we're looking at, and the velocity, which is looking for a rotation couplet to indicate a tornado, is weakening. But again, if you live in the areas, we'll get back to the original view here. We're in portions of Beaufort County here, now on the very southeastern tip of Martin County. And again, if you live in those areas, we'll zoom in and name out a few towns for you. If you're in those areas, we're going to go to the centermost area of your house. That could be a basement, centermost interior as in a hallway or a bathroom.
And
again,
away
this
from
is
glass.
And away from glass. So that is the most important. If you live, again, just to the north of Washington now, this storm is really broken apart. I do expect the National Weather Service to allow this to expire at 11:45, but we'll continue to keep you updated. Keeping an eye on velocity, again, is showing weakening, but here's the polygon. If you're living in the western portions of Beaufort County heading into the southeastern county of Martin County, that has looked like it has extended into Hyde County, portions of Hyde up towards the Albemarle Sound counties as a severe thunderstorm warning. And we'll put on radar here, you could see lightning is indicated with this. So again, if you are out and about, you want to seek shelter, stay in your car, or allow this to expire here in the next 5 minutes. So Donnie will continue to pull up radar here and show you about 20 minutes ago, we'll put it in motion. You could see it is really weakened. These streams of showers out to the west have also dissipated. If we look out a little bit further to the west of us, we'll see that a lot of this is starting to die down. So once this final batch is out of here, we may start to look at improving conditions. We'll continue to keep you updated. But for the next 5 minutes, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning for areas north of 264.
And we were talking about the couplet there a couple of minutes ago. When you have these storms moving at 60 miles per hour and it doesn't have the full structure like we normally see, sometimes makes those couplets hard to find. So this has not been one that's been real easy to work with. But again, what we are looking at is the potential of a tornado, and you can see that is the area, or at least it was indicated by the radar a couple of minutes ago. Again, now we have just expired the tornado warning, so that means that it has come to an end. However, the tornado warning, again, that you see on your screen has expired. Doesn't mean that those areas to the north from Edenton over to Skinnersville to Plymouth, back over to Jamesville, and up to around Berry Hill, you will still see some severe thunderstorm impacts coming out of this. And of course, we have passed our news time. Not sure what we'll toss back over to Tyler here in a second, but again, Tyler, will be tracking this, the last of the system pulling on through that has those certainly strong winds that started the night off with some of those strong gusts.
All right, Donnie, Lana, and Grant, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching. Of course, we will keep you updated on our mobile app and website as well. For any other weather alerts, we are now going to join our regularly scheduled program. Good night.
If we need them.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that was, there was, when I jumped in, there was nothing. Like, it was literally
I was
showing
going to
nothing.
mention the
4, 3, and 2 are up. Okay.
Please plug all the batteries in. Now get down. Otherwise, Forrest is going to yell at me in the morning.
Okay. I was like, let me turn it off. I don't want.
How, yeah, I mean,
I was like, we were right in the middle of a story, and I said, I think it's a tornado warning about to go out. Then about the time the siren went.
yeah, that was, yeah.
And then I couldn't find the couplet, and I'm like, and it kept saying
it
where
was
it was.
so
and I kept
hard to
repeating
find.
it.
It was hard to find.
It was hard to find on that one.
Someone with a Washington number just called me. Oh, okay. Well, let me go check it out.
Yeah, no, that was, yeah, but it, yeah, when I was driving over, it did look, impressive, quote unquote, but yeah, it significantly weakened once it went north.
It was
70.
at Vanceboro, and I saw it. And then as soon as it moved north of Vanceboro up toward Wilmer and those areas, it's like, yeah, you forget that.
Yeah.
Y'all might want to just turn your mics off.
Yep.
Make sure you're saving batteries.
And
And
then
then,
when it's done, please
and
plug them
then
in.